Jason Baffrey. Better fluff up your hair, sir, because we're live.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Coach Talk TV, where we believe that coaching and coaches are an essential part of human development. You'll learn how having a guide in your own personal development can change your life, improve your relationships, and enhance your work experience. I'm Jason Baffrey, and this is Rhonda Boyle. You're watching Coach Talk TV, where we have coaching conversations that matter. Good afternoon, Rhonda.
Hey, Jason. Good to see you, sir.
It's nice to see you as well.
Yeah, I was about to say happy Wednesday, but actually I don't even know what day it is anymore. We used to meet every Wednesday, though.
I know. Well, with everything that's been going on, it's hard to keep track of the days. I believe this is a Tuesday. However, you could be watching the replay and it could be any day of the week. And so we appreciate all of those of you that come on and watch us live and watch the replays on the multiple channels. And speaking of those multiple channels, you can, of course, find us on the Coach Talk TV Facebook page. You can also find us on our YouTube channel. We would appreciate it if you'd go over there and subscribe to Coach Talk TV on YouTube and ring the little bell so you get notifications when we do new videos. And you can also listen to our podcast, and you can find that on iTunes and Google Play and most of your other favorite podcast outlets, Spotify, and a whole lot more. And so, yeah, thanks for joining us here on a kind of a surprise show, because we are not in the middle of a Discover Coaching series. And but you've been doing some quick takes, and that's been very cool.
I have had a blast.
But we have a special show today.
We do, because I snagged Mr. Michael Oster. Yeah. He is an author, the author of Level Up. And guess what? We are bringing it to you live.
Yeah.
This is launch day for him in a new program. Hey, everybody. Glad you could join us. Now, if you want to chit chat with us and let us know who you are, because otherwise we can't tell, you get to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook so we can see who you are. So, Jason, I've been thinking.
All right. I'm shocked.
Y'all know I think I'm a thinker too. I've just been thinking about how everybody's ready to get busy, aren't we?
Yeah. I think things are opening back up after the big pandemic, and we are fortunate to be in a state where things are pretty much opening with no disturbances, no problems. But unfortunately, some of you out there are dealing with some struggles. But I think everybody in the general public is ready to get back to work, get back to some sort of normalcy in their lives, where the past 2 to 3 months have been a little abnormal. And, and there's some place where there's some strife taking place.
Yes, there is, but it's all going to come out in the wash, as my mama would say. Yeah. So anyway, we will see. But with that said, a lot of companies are looking towards coaches to help them during the transition. So this is what we hope to be bringing you, are some opportunities for you to have some talk to some coaches and engage with them, because that's what coaches do. Help people in these challenges and transitions. And so anyway, we've got a great coach on today that we're going to be talking to, who has years and years of experience coaching teams. And so we're glad to have you here. In fact, let's get on it. And I will introduce you to Michael. Mike is the principal of Level Up Advisors, and he's the author of the book, hot off the press, released today on Amazon. Level Up is the name of the book. There you go. And he's going to tell us how we can get a free copy. So you guys need to hang with us today. And he is an executive coach and advisor, and brings his 20 plus years experience as a CEO and board of directors leader to help his clients be the best possible versions of themselves. He lives in Phoenix with his beloved and their 5 dogs. Come on up and say, hey, Michael.
Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Jason.
Hi there, Michael. Glad you could join us today. How hot is it in Phoenix today, or in Arizona?
How hot is it? It's a balmy 95 today, and tomorrow it's going to be 107. And then it'll drop down to the 90s.
That's why I don't live in Arizona.
You know what they would say though is it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on, hot is hot.
You stay inside, it's a really dry heat.
Yeah.
I know. Well, we sure are glad to have snagged you as our guest today. You have been busy and about the coaching business for a long time. You've worked with, I know, the South Beach Yacht Club in San Francisco, the Napa Valley Symphony, and you also come to us as the CEO of Summit Global Partners in San Francisco. So you've got a wealth of experience in leadership and leading leaders. And so we're excited to have you and to talk about this amazing book that you have written for us.
Great. Well, thank you, Rhonda. And you were wondering what day it is. This day is my red letter day because books launch on Tuesdays for some reason, and we could have a contest to see if the readers know why they do. I actually don't, but books launch on Tuesday, and we withheld my book launch, watching the current unpleasantness, waiting to see a change in the trajectory of it. And we decided to launch today, which is Cinco de Mayo. So happy Tuesday, happy Cinco de Mayo, and happy Level Up Day.
There you go. Great. Now, I know that you work especially with leaders who have new challenges or high achievers who want to, level up to the next level, as you say. Now, what kind of things are they dealing with things differently today than they were 3 months ago? I know they are, but how has the landscape changed? Let's put it that way.
Oh, what a great question that is, Rhonda. And, I suppose the short answer is it remains to be seen. Not only are we going to find out together what the next version of the future is we're going to create the next version of the future. And I didn't have this in mind when I wrote Level Up, that we would be in such of a time of transition. Because Level Up, which we'll talk about in a while, is about using the strengths that you have to improve competencies that can help you reach your goals. But in this time of change, in this time of uncertainty, and I'm going to share a new word with you here in a moment, when the doors open back up, and my gosh, aren't we all ready to restart? And we don't know exactly what's on the other side of the door. We know what we are and what we can bring to it, but we don't yet know how we're going to be able to express ourselves and identify the new opportunities and solve the new problems. And I think our book, Level Up, will help you do so. So I promised you a new word. Here it is. It's liminality. And I had never heard of this word until this week. And there was an article in the Harvard Business Review mentioning liminality, and there was an academic paper I read mentioning liminality. Liminality is the current uncertain state for the next place in your life between where you are now and what is going to happen. And this has to do with what is going to happen being somewhat uncertain. So there was an article in academia about liminality of African chieftains in Sierra Leone. And there was an article on liminality in Harvard Business Review with regard to the uncertain period we're in and what we're going to launch ourselves into now after this coronavirus unpleasantness. So back to leveling up. And I don't know if this brings a question for you, Rhonda, or you would like me to keep going?
Oh, please share everything that you know. We want to pick your brain too. So, if I can just say, I think that's exactly where we all are, is in this space of liminality.
I have another word for you. You ready for another one?
Yes.
Okay. There are things called phenomenons, and phenomenons have names. One of them The name of it is, this phenomenon is the Baader-Meinhof Complex. And you may never have heard of this, but I'll bet you've had this happen to you. Do you ever discover something? Maybe you're talking with a friend, or you're watching a movie or reading a book, and you come across something that you hadn't heard about before. And then 1, 2, 3 days, a week later, bam, there it is again. All of a sudden in your life, things have entered your life from who knows where, and then they're repeating themselves. And the name of this phenomenon for new things repeating themselves in your life from uncertain origins is the Baader-Meinhof Complex. And liminality is my new Baader-Meinhof word that I think we're all going to be seeing a lot more of, which is how we're defining ourselves and how the uncertain is becoming certain. We're in the period now where the uncertain will become certain. And I think I have, with Level Up, something to help us all do that.
So, Michael, tell us a little bit about how you decided to write this book and how it came about. Obviously, you have years of experience as a coach and have worked with so many different clients in that aspect. But what made you decide to want to write this book and put this information out?
That's a great question, Jason. I've had a few lofty titles aside. Most of my work has been as a player coach, as a team leader in the trenches, helping in the consulting business and other businesses, helping my team and my people solve problems. And I've noticed that people come with so many different. Everybody brings so much into every situation. You know, we have our experiences, we have our intellect, we have the ways we're wired, we have our opinions, we have our abilities. And, the one word that seems to sum up probably the most useful attributes we have are strengths. And if people use their strengths, if we use our strengths, our unique strengths, to help us reach our goals and solve the problems, things go a lot quicker. And I saw a lot of potential between the area of personal strengths that people have and using them in their unique ways to solve the goals, to help themselves and to help others in the organization. But there was a missing link, which is how do you use your strengths to work on the problems and solve the goals? And until this time, it hasn't been discovered. At least I don't think it's been discovered until I found it. Now, I didn't create what I'm about to tell you as a category of things we can all use, but I think I've discovered it's something we can use to connect our strengths as a channel to help us solve problems. And these are competencies. So Level Up is about using the strengths that you have and using, I have discovered 17 universal competencies that can carry the best part of us towards the goals we want to achieve. How's that?
Oh, yeah. Tell us more. I want to hear more about these 17 competencies. Now, I understand that you've got them divided into 5 different categories. So let's start with what's the first category?
Well, we do them in chronological order, and they're additive with each of your competencies. When you've worked on one of them, you can move on to the next, and it'll help you accomplish that. So that's a great question, Rhonda. The book just launched today, so and I'll tell your listeners how to grab a free ebook copy of it here a little bit later. But the first set of competencies is about thinking. It's thinking strategically, and we'll come back to that and tell you a bit more about what's in that thinking strategically set of category of competencies. And then the next big category of competencies, which we're all going to face real soon here, is navigating change.
Yeah, you think?
Exciting. You think? And then leading people, because the purpose of organizations, of corporations, and any kind of organization is just to bring people together to work on a similar problem. Otherwise, we wouldn't need organizations. And with our people, we need to serve them, and we need to lead them. So I have a category of competencies that has 5 competencies about leading people. And then where the rubber meets the road, we have driving results. because we've thought strategically, we've navigated change, we've led our people. Now we have to make it happen. And then finally, we have the great set aside, because you always want to keep yourself fresh and sharp and ready for the next set of opportunities. And we have a category of competencies called developing self. So we have thinking strategically, navigating change, leading people, driving results, and developing self. And if you'd like, I can go on and talk about each of the 17 competencies that reside within those categories, or we can stay at this level, at the category level, if you like.
Well, Jason, do you have questions about these? I know I do, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, Michael, how do these relate? I mean, we talk to a lot of different types of coaches here on Coach Talk TV who use a lot of different methods. And so obviously we talk Clifton Strengths, we've talked Myers-Briggs, we've talked other assessments. How do those, did you utilize those to develop these competencies? Or if somebody has taken those, how can they then relate those strengths or results from one of their other assessments into the competencies that you've developed? Or do they need to? Do they just need to read the book and learn how to navigate the competencies?
That is a great question, Jason. And it's one I've tumbled over in my mind, and it's one that I address in the book. And here's what I've reconciled. I'm a certified Gallup strengths coach, and Gallup, for those of you who are familiar with coaching and strengths, you're probably familiar with the strengths from Gallup, and those are strengths that we use in work environments. And then there's, as a companion to that, I like another survey, which is called the VIA assessment on character strengths. So for my work, I like to focus on the 34 work strengths that individuals have, and the 24 character strengths that are defined by VIA. And this gives us a universe of 58 strengths from which we can draw to help us achieve things. Now, you mentioned Myers-Briggs is an assessment that has to do with our preferences. Myers-Briggs is great. The book could have been written from any number of standpoints. I chose to and their personality type assessments too, which Myers-Briggs touches upon. And you can use, it's whatever you've got, let's use it. I like strengths because they are so powerful and they collect so much experience and learning that we have. But strengths are, it's like the label on firecrackers when I was a little kid. It said light, fuse, and run. So,
right.
A strength is a 360-degree explosion. Strengths are just the opposites, or just on the other side of the coin from our weaknesses, right? You see people, if we express some of our stronger strengths too much, they aren't really strengths anymore. They kind of become less than useful.
We get in trouble.
We get in trouble. We create our own problems.
For sure.
So that's what we use my competencies for in Level Up, using the Level Up competencies as a channel to help carry the best of your strengths in the direction of your goals.
So in other words, all of my talents and strengths, if I can focus on them in such a way, such as driving results or lead, how am I going to lead people, understanding how I'm going to develop self, or how I'm going to navigate change, just focusing on it, on the competency, allows you to become more aware of how you use those strengths to aim in that direction. That's how I'm understanding it.
That's very much true. So,
hey, look, I'm a quick study.
Well, you will, in the book is, and we'll talk a bit about the book here in a moment, but I have to warn you, the book is a bit dense because it has a number of concepts that you can use that most of your listeners are going to be familiar with already, that we align with the thinking of how to use your strengths through your competencies to solve your problems and reach your goals. And here's the great part about how the book works, and I'll let you in on a kind of a sneak peek. So imagine that you know what your character strengths and your work strengths are. And back to Jason's question, actually, which was a really good question, is I also allowed for exactly what you were hinting at, Jason, which is if people don't want to take an assessment, that's fine. You know, you can, if you can self-identify what your strengths are. And, you know, strengths are the things that we really enjoy doing, and time passes quickly and we're naturally good at it and we look forward to it. And whatever those things are, you probably know what they are anyway. So taking an assessment might just validate what you already know, or it might cause you to awaken yourself to attributes you have that you hadn't given much attention to. So that's why I like the assessments.
Eating on the couch, sitting and eating on the couch is not going to be a strength. No matter how easy it is for you to do, and time passes and you can't wait to do it again. That's
well, we're all guilty of eating on the couch for the last 6 weeks, aren't we?
Yes, I think so.
We bought some new chairs yesterday, and you know, it's probably the first day the store was open, and they're all masked up and they have all the gloves and all this stuff. And I bought the chairs, and they said, "Would you like arm covers?" And we used to eat dinner and watch television, and we have dogs, as you mentioned, 5 dogs. So we always had arm covers, and I thought, I'm past the eating. No more eating on the couch or in the chair. No arm covers.
You've had enough. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about vision real quick. Did we?
Yeah.
I want to. I don't want to get sidetracked because I want everybody to understand really how practical your book is, and that is that you start with vision. I think is what you're talking about first, right?
Well, we do, and let's start with that. And I want to come back and answer Jason's question.
I keep derailing Jason's question.
That's all right. I'll embed the answer.
He's used to it now. 5 years we've been doing this.
You guys work great together. I like, it's. Who was it who said if two people agree, one of them's unnecessary? So back to vision. So, we all have dreams, and even those of us who say, "Oh, I don't have dreams," I would submit, have you ever bought a lottery ticket? And what were those thoughts that you thought, and the wishes that you had when you had that ticket in your hand? And those are dreams, and they're not necessarily practical, but your vision, the desirable vision of yourself, the desirable picture of the person you want to become, that is a practical thing. And a long-term vision is mostly desirable. An intermediate and short-term vision is attainable. What can you do? And I'll bet a lot of you have heard of the gap, and the gap is that space between who we are and the person we want to be. And Level Up is all about closing the gap, using your strengths and your competencies to reach your goals and becoming more the person you want to be. So vision is that intermediate term. You might say 1 year, 3 years, intermediate vision, but a vision is just that. It's a picture. So to make the vision come real, we set goals that help us move in the direction of our vision. And we have a whole section on goal setting, and I bet you guys and a lot of your listeners are familiar with how to set goals. They're smart,
sure,
and they're measurable, and they're achievable, and you hold yourself accountable, or somebody else does. So I'm going to hold my answer for Jason's question because I can't really embed it in my answer to yours, but that's pretty much what I have for you on vision.
Okay, let's get back to Jason's question.
Okay, so Jason asked how the competencies and strengths work together, and let me paint a mental picture for you here. So people see us, their impression of us is from the outside in, and we work from the inside out, right? So their impressions of us might be of our accomplishments and achievements. There are other things: spirituality, money and possessions, education. But let's for the moment stay on accomplishments and achievements. And then they see how the achievements we have, and how did we gain them, and we got them by reaching some goals. And they might guess that we used our strengths and our values to do so. Most of what we do, we use our strengths and our values, but they wouldn't really know how we did so. And the answer is, the way we do so from our strengths and values to get to our goals, we use our competencies. So imagine these two rings. Imagine your strengths ring in the center has 58 strengths, from character strengths and work strengths, and you have 17 competencies. And the next, say it's a safe and it only has two numbers. So you have one with 17, one with 58. That's 500 and some odd combinations you can use to solve almost any problem. And that's the great thing about Level Up. You can pick any combination you want, either just for fun or to really drill down on it. Pick one of your strengths and one of the competencies and aim it at one of your goals.
Mm.
Wow, it sounds so simple. Sounds like you need a coach, though.
Well, that's what coaches are for. And I think, I hope my as Rhonda, as you mentioned, my book is for, it's not an entry level book. It's not for people just getting started. It is for high potentials who want to hit the ground running and are really willing to do the work. It's for leaders facing new challenges, and it's for high achievers who want to take themselves to the next level.
Great. Awesome.
Should we talk about that free book?
Yeah. So let me make sure I've got the link here. You guys want to get, well, actually it goes right to Amazon, correct?
It is. It's brand new. The algorithms are just working their magic, or whatever algorithms do. So if you, in your browser or on your Amazon site, enter first the title, Level Up, and there are Level Up parenthetically. I can tell you later how I chose the name, but I didn't create it. It was actually a term that gamers used. So of course there are books floating around there about soccer and gaming that are Level Up, but the one you want today is Level Up Michael C. Oster, or just Michael Oster, Oster. And it should pop up on your Amazon page. If it's not the number one of the top 5 that you see when you do that, it'll be number 2 or 3, I think.
There you go. There's the picture and of the book. And I did link everybody to the Amazon site, so you can go get that. And I believe you have a $0 on it today. Like you're giving it away.
Today, I'm having a 5-day free ebook promo, Rhonda. Thank you. And it's today through Saturday. And when you go on Amazon, you'll see if you're a Kindle subscriber, it'll say Kindle, and underneath that it says ebook, and the ebook, which is normally $9.99, you'll see it in blue type 0.00. So you click on that ebook and you grab your copy of the free copy of the ebook and enjoy it. And also on the Amazon site, you'll see an option to pick up a paperback or a hardcover. And it's, as I said, and I'm guilty of this, it's got a lot in it. If you use it, it can be, I think, a really good reference.
Well, it's your life's work, clearly.
It is my magnum opus.
There you go. Well, and that's quite a significant thing, to have accomplished. So congratulations on that. Yeah. Yeah. So, Jason.
Well, Rhonda, I just I'm excited for Michael to have the release of this book, and I'm just so thankful that you had the time to come on with us and give us the opportunity to let people know about it, and that this is I think it's very cool that you're offering this free opportunity for people to grab a hold of it and dive deeper into their strengths and learn about the competencies and take themselves to another level.
Thank you so much, and enjoy the book. If for your listeners who'd like to contact me directly, you can find me at levelupadvisors.solutions. Levelup.com was taken, so it's there's a domain name for consultants, which is .solutions. So it's levelupadvisors.solutions. You can see that website, and hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's just been great talking to you today.
Yeah, thank you so much. We got the scoop for sure. So anybody who's watching, you've got access to a free book all week, or for 5 days anyway. And then levelupadvisors.solutions. Go say hey to Michael and let him know that we sent you. So on that note, thank you so much for being here with us, sir. And we will see you in the lobby later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Wow, what fun. He has got, like I said, his life's work. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Kaysen, good to see you today. He's got a pretty meaty tome there.
But I think it will give people an opportunity to really level up in their lives and in their practices with how they function and everything. So some really good information. And I think it's very cool that Michael had the ability to come on and talk with us today on the release date.
I know, how exciting. So I really love just to reiterate the point about his that gap, that we're all really working on, is that space between who we are now and who we want to be. And it sounds like this is really going to help people, help leaders, help people move forward in a way that is faster and more efficient. And I think a lot of us are looking for that right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, so catch up with us inside of Coach Talk TV.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the Facebook page. And then you can catch us again on our YouTube channel. We also have the podcast. And if you've been missing out, Rhonda has been doing what we call Coach Talk TV Quick Takes, just the opportunity to quickly meet some different coaches and find out what they're all about. So go back and watch those. And then if you missed our first two Discover Coaching series, those are all still available on the Facebook page. You can go to coachtalk.tv. It'll take you straight there, or go to the YouTube channel and you can find all of those. And we've had the opportunity to talk to just a really great group of coaches from all different types of philosophies. And it's very interesting. A lot of great information. You don't want to miss it. So go back and watch those previous shows if you have not caught up on those yet.
Yay. Hey, and look, your beloved is peeking in.
Oh, how about that? Hi, hon.
She's checking to make sure you're all slick back there, sir.
Right.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with another show on Coach Talk TV. Right. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.